I ended up in the location that like, this is actually where I wanted to be, even though I thought that's where I wanted to be. Hey everyone, my name's Lavonne and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am here going through my core values that I fully live by in my career as a labor and delivery nurse, as a birth coach, as a childbirth educator, as a CEO in birth. And so this is the big one that you will hear me say every single video, that you have heard me say if you have followed me forever. Don't forget to flex and flow. Until next time, don't forget to flex and flow. Don't forget to flex and flow, and I will see you soon. And you might even have some merch that says this, including stickers and other things. It is absolutely everywhere. And so today I want to talk to you about what it means to flex and flow. And this is one of the core concepts. I could not include this in the list of things that have shaped how I teach, particularly what has shaped the bundle birth class in the core concepts of what I believe in for labor and birth and these tips that can help you for your labor and birth. And so we all know that in life, sometimes things don't go as planned. And that's expected, right? That I may have a full plan of what I'm gonna do for the day, and then something happens and I have to pivot and I need to be flexible and go with the flow. And so the idea and the concept around flex and flow is that this particular, I call it really like a coping strategy or like a mind hack, or a like resilience technique, is a way to handle when things don't go as planned. Often I am a business owner. I have an entire team behind the camera here and helping fuel this business. And often we will have our one-on-ones day where like we'll all go through and we'll talk about the week and everyone has their big rocks, we call them, which is like your priorities. And then literally by the end of the day when we have our team meeting, I'm like, and whoop-ha, we are flexing and flowing and fully new plan. We are not doing any of that. Everybody's jobs is about to pivot. And so if you know anything about business, maybe you're a business owner yourself or you've been a part of business, you know that pivoting is one of the most helpful tools for business. And I'm gonna say in life. And so this idea of flex and flow is really the ability to pivot. I imagine, and I talk about this in the class, that like, imagine you're on a river. And that river, like the stream is going one direction. You're like, all right, I'm not gonna fight the stream. This is the direction of my labor, birth, my life. And then all of a sudden, there's a split in the river. And that current is clearly taking you this direction. And you're like, but over there looks really cool. There's a butterfly and I wanna see it. And I wanted to go down that stream over there. But the river is really pulling you one direction. And this is really an analogy for life, right? That we may have our eyes set on what we want or what it looks like or our birth preferences and hold rigidly to them. But unfortunately, what happens in labor is that there is this flex and flow and sort of like the ebb and flow of labor. And so what we know is that rigid birth plans create stress when you hold so tightly to what you want. And I'm not saying don't know what you want. I'm saying actually know what you want and have those dreams, but hold loosely to them and understand that through the process of labor and birth, leading you into your life and parenting, that things might change. And if you open up your eyes to the way the river's taking you, all of a sudden you might learn that, you know what, I'm gonna go with it. I'm not gonna fight. I'm gonna release. I'm gonna surrender. I'm gonna trust in the process. That all of a sudden you're like, what? There's like 15 butterflies over here. And I ended up in the location that like, this is actually where I wanted to be, even though I thought that's where I wanted to be. And so the same is really true for your labor and birth. You may want this outcome and then all of a sudden the contractions start and you're overwhelmed and you're like, no, absolutely not. I want pain relief through an epidural. Maybe that wasn't your plan. You're like, absolutely, this is what I want. Or even the opposite is true. And I've seen it through my clients that like, let's see, I'm open to an epidural. I think I might want it. And then sure enough, they cope the whole way through. And so what I want you to understand is this concept of flex and flow is so pivotal for your labor and birth leading into the rest of your life, that if you can adapt and be flexible and go with the flow, you will have a more positive birth experience. And so when you put together your birth preferences, which you get with the bundle birth class, or you can purchase separately, or you can just do one online, doesn't really matter. When you put together your preferences and you know what you want, my suggestion to you is keep them one page and then be willing to be adaptable to certain things. Now, there might be things on there where you're like, absolutely not. I don't care. Under no circumstances do I want forceps in my birth. Then great. then you're gonna hold stronger to that than maybe you would hold to nitrous oxide in labor, which I teach you all about all of that and more in the childbirth class, in my bundle birth class, okay? So you have to learn how to adjust your expectations, but using the knowledge and the tools that you gain through this class and through your learning and through being here so that you can still feel in control even if and when things don't go as planned. And so I wanna treat you as if you are my client that I get to go alongside along the way. And I might be able to do that through a childbirth class, by taking any of my classes, and then maybe even through virtual or one-on-one support or a one-on-one call, which I do all of the above. But even right now, what I would tell you is know what you want. Take and own your birth experience. Learn that mindset piece, that own that I am going to get my mind right. I'm gonna get it in control. I'm gonna learn to down-regulate my nervous system. I'm gonna trust in birth and I'm gonna believe in my body. And also be able to hold loosely to my preferences, hold loosely to the experience, and be able to own my experience so much that when things start going a little different, I can navigate those and not just go, ugh, I don't care anymore, ugh, it's all out the window. Instead say, okay, hold on. How can I be flexible and go with the flow? Hold on to what I can control, still maintain some of the things that I want while being open to the way that your labor, the natural course of your labor and birth has gone. I wanna know in the comment box down below how you flexed and flowed in your labor, birth, parenting, breastfeeding, or if you haven't given birth yet, how you've learned to flex and flow for your life. All right, in other areas of your life, it doesn't have to be birth related, because I think when we start to learn from one another and read each other's comments, because when we learn from one another, we can start to really conceptualize this in our brains. I have clients currently that now will frequently text me and be like, my husband just told me flex and flow, and I love it, right? That this tool, ultimately, I want you to be able to carry into and use. I use it literally all the time in my life to be able to navigate the unexpected and ultimately help you still have a positive birth experience, a positive life. Make sure you subscribe down below, give it a like, share it with a friend. Maybe you have a friend that needs this message more than ever, send it to them. And then until next time, please don't forget to flex and flow, and I will see you very soon. Bye. Hey everyone. What was that? I short-circuited. Oh my God, my candle. What would we do without a lit candle? Now we're ready. Go with the flow.